Hey guys, welcome back. This is part 2 for the monitor machine from Hackthebox. We already get the system access by reading the configuration file. I'm just gonna review this one more time so we can call everything back. Go to the Nmap, and as you can see, we had the port number 22 and port number 80. So we got website by the WordPress. So we enumerate that website and that web application. We found one plugin, we searched for the exploit, we got exploit, we run that exploit, and that vulnerability was actually remote file inclusion and local file inclusion. So LFI, RFI, you can see because we already tried to uh, read the file from our by hosting our own Python web server. So it was also successful. So we got users like www.data, root, and Marcus. So after that we tried SSH, but unfortunately we cannot log in with the SSH because that password does not match for the Marcus user. So we decided to read other configuration files because the port number 80 is basically using service for Apache. So Apache HTTPD 2.4.29. So we searched about this and we found that we can read Apache files. So Apache configuration file mostly in etc Apache 2, and we tried many files and we find one subdomain in 000-default.conf file. So we take that subdomain and we update it into the host file, and then we try to access this subdomain, and we got one more application, and in that application we actually log in with the admin user and the password we got from the WordPress configuration file. So after that that application was new for us, so we go and check few options and we find actually once I click on the manage, there is inside manage there is one option site. I go into the site, and when I click there on the site 1, so we got this URL, and I just play a bit and put the single quote to check the SQLI, and we found that this application is vulnerable for SQLI vulnerability, SQL injection vulnerability. Although I do not go to check everything manually, I just first go and search in the search exploit for that application with its version, and we found the vulnerability. That this vulnerability is basically filter SQL injection, and that SQL injection lead us to the remote code execution. So we follow this, we download this file, and we see what's in that file. I already explained. So very simple file, just open listen with the netcat with any port, and you have to pass here the target URL with username, password, localhost IP, and local port. So we got the user. So okay, now we got the access on the target machine, but still we do not have much privileges to do more tasks like deleting the file, reading file uh, of the Marcus user, or reading the root owned file. So we need to be root, but before this we need to log in as a Marcus. So we need privileges as Marcus user, and for that I'm gonna make some manual enumeration first. So this is in my habit, and it is very important to make these things in your habit to go for the manual enumeration first, because you can also run the linpiece and linenum and pspy 64-bit, so for checking everything automatically. But it's good if you have knowledge for the manual enumeration. So okay, so this is the Linux version which is running on that target machine. Another thing I'm going to do is going to check, let's see what's in the directory uh, where we are in the user share cacti and cacti. So a lot of files are here: settings.php, sites.php, tree.php, and all these files actually we see here in this application. Okay, so tree, these are the tree, and what you see here before tree.php. So once you uh, click that, you will find this. So all of these things are here. Okay, so a lot of files, hundreds of files there. And the purpose of that application actually, I think, solved. There is data source.php. You can read this file also. This is interesting. Maybe you got something. This is your homework. I already did that, so I'm not going to take a lot of time and make this video very lengthy. So but just want to show you the way you can make enumeration on the target machine. So next thing I'm going to do is uh, check whether if there is any process. Before process, I'm gonna see net state space hyphen tlpn, and as you can see here, this is very interesting for me and very important, because in the nmap scan we just got port number 22 and port number 80, but once we got access to that target machine, we can actually access, oops, sorry, so net state space hyphen tlpn. So after getting, what's that, net state, okay, net state space hyphen tlpn np. So once we got access to that machine, we can actually access the services running on that local machine, on that local target that we cannot access from the outside or remotely. So this 3306 is running for the MySQL, and this port 8443 is most important for me because it seems like there is another application running on that machine, but this is running locally. So what we can do, we can access MySQL and we can access this one also. So I'm gonna check it with curl and http colon slash slash 127.0.0.1 colon 8443, and it said that curl is not installed on this machine, and being www data, we cannot install any service, I think, okay, because it is the least privileged user on that machine. So another thing we can do is we can make uh, SSH port forwarding and making tunnel, but that also we can do only once we get the Marcus user. Okay, so this part is very important, so that's why I am going to copy this and save it here. And I also want to take a print screen. So okay, and going to cherry tree, put this here, better. Next thing is what else we can do. We can go for the processes. So ps space hyphen aux, this will show us the process, but here something because of uh, the screen size, I think it's not showing the full path. Okay, but there is nothing much interesting, so we can check another thing like ifconfig. So ifconfig is another very interesting part because we can see here a Docker container is running on that machine. So by default, Docker containers assign an IP that is from the range of 172.17.0.1. Okay, so Docker container is there. So I am going to take a note of for this also. So print screen, okay, and take this, okay, and put it in inventory. Next. So that's very good. Fine. Another thing what we can do is, let's see if there is any, what file uh, do we have access to, slash home slash marker home slash marcus. Yeah, this is. So we have user.txt, node.txt. Maybe we get a lead by reading this node.txt, but I think we cannot read this file. So let's see, cd slash home slash marcus. We can go in this directory. Yeah, we can go. So cat node.txt and permission denied. We cannot even read, okay, because the user is root and the group is Marcus. So these files we cannot read. Another thing we can see is this backup file looks interesting because of uh, a weird permission on this directory, because there is no read permission on that directory, even for Marcus, because this file is the owner of this directory is Marcus, but even for Marcus there is no read permission. So this is interesting. Let's see what's in it. So ls space hyphen la dot backup. Come on. Yeah. So permission is denied because we cannot read, we cannot list this. So I can do one thing. There is a trick with grep. If there is any executable or if there is any link, so as a Marcus, I can check this Marcus, okay, and slash etc, and I can check space hyphen capital R 2 and greater than slash dev slash null. Okay, so and also I'm going to show you grep space hyphen h, and grep space hyphen help is gonna be this one. So you can see capital R is gonna be dereference recursive likewise, but follow all the syslinks. Fine. So it follows all the links. So as you can see here, the result we got etc systemd cacti backup. I do not know how to pronounce that. So cacti backup service exec start home marcus dot backup, and there is one backup.sh file. So this is a bash file. We cannot read this file, but sometime what happened, in the directory there is no permission to read, but inside that directory there are files which you can read. So this is my guess. So uh, from that guess I'm gonna try to read this file. So dot backup slash backup dot sh, and yes, we can read indeed. So cat backup dot sh, and this is bash file, and what it's doing, actually we need to understand that. So there are two variables, backup name and another variable is config pass, and uh, it is going to be a password. Fine. Now it's going to use using these variables, it's going to run this command zip inside the temporary directory and create a backup name.zip file. Whatever the backup name is, it is gonna convert it like backup name.zip and slash user share cacti star. So let's see, ls space hyphen la slash user slash share slash cacti slash cacti slash just see this cacti dot star. So because it make the okay, so what it's gonna do actually in this directory user share cacti all the files it is going to backup and create it as a zip file, okay, inside the temp directory. So if we try to see ls space hyphen la slash temp, so uh, if I don't know who make this, uh, but it is made by www data, so no problem. So I hope you understand this line. So it takes all the file from this path and make it a zip file. Then it is going to ssh pass space hyphen p, and it is using this variable which contains the password, and scp means ssh copy, this one, and it is going to copy we already created this script already created a backup file .zip file in the temp directory, so it's gonna take that file and send it to this IP address in the backup in the opt slash backup collection and with the backup.zip file. So this is very easy to understand, so I hope you guys understand that. But for me important part is this, so because this is some kind of password, and as in the previous video, I explained that sometime administrator use same password for other places also. So maybe this password work for me for Marcus user. So I'm going to print uh, and from here, yes. So from here, yeah. And there is third line also which is going to after copy it is going to remove that file from the temp directory, the third line, okay. Let's go here and paste it, fine. Okay, so I'm also going to copy this because this is very important. Copy and paste it here, and we can take this password and going to write here. So username is gonna be Marcus and the password is gonna be this vertical edge 2020. So I'm going to copy again and let's see if we have access this time. Copy, save this one also. So I'm going to create a new tab, ssh space Marcus at monitors.hackthebox. Yeah, and I'm going to paste that password vertical edge 2020 and boom, we got the Marcus access. So clear this ID, no need for this, but who am I? This is important. Yeah. So we got Marcus user. Next thing is we need to be root because even Marcus cannot do all the things as super user. So we are also limited to here. So ls space hyphen la cat node dot text. I wanted to read this file while I was www data. So there is a to-do list, and the first part is saying disable PHP info in php.ini, and this is already done. And another part is update Docker image for production use. It means we are going to face Docker somewhere. I know, I'm feeling this. So clear, and I'm going to separate something. Okay. Next thing what I want to do is SSH, because we got some port 8443 port here, 8443 port. I want to access this port. So, but we cannot access from the login. I tried to curl because curl is not installed. So we need to make port forwarding. So SSH space hyphen capital L 8443 dot 0 dot 0 dot 1. For my machine also I want to take it on 8443, and Marcus at monitors dot hackthebox. Okay, and again I'm going to paste the same password, and yes, that works. So just clear this. So now we can access that part also. So HTTPS, I think, because 8443 is gonna be the SSL or TLS using. So 127.0.0.1 port number 8443, and yes, it's working. There is another application. So this application is working, but there is error, and another information is it's using Apache Tomcat 9.0.31, and I think this version is vulnerable because uh, I exploited this before, I think. So I'm going to print a screen again, and I'm going to take this, copy, cherry tree, come here, paste this. Also, I want to take a note. Okay, I already clear this, so no problem. Let's see. See. Okay, now we can do one thing. Go buster there space hyphen z hyphen w user share word list and buster and directory. This is going to be 2.3 medium one space hyphen u for the URL HTTPS this time, and 127.0.0.1 colon port number is 8443 slash, and to avoid the TLS or SSL validation, I'm gonna use space hyphen K. I think that's enough. So I also wanna see, because maybe there is, and yes, I think right. So let's see, I want to, and as you can see 302 means if you put this directory, try to access this directory, it is gonna redirect your request somewhere. I don't know now where, but it will redirect. So let's go to images first, and slash paste. Come on, images, that not work. Why? Let's see, images, yes, manufacturing. Okay, let's see, content. So CONTNT. Come on, give me something. Yeah, it's working. So inside content there is control, there is main, and we got something that is user registration form. And let's read this here. So coordinate universal time. This is the time. And the Apache Software Foundation, powered by Apache of Biz release 17.12.1. You can see this here, this info. Okay, and we can also see view page source. Go at the last. Where is it? It should be in the footer. No, where is it? Leave that part. Okay, let me see like that. View selection source. So span copyright. In the copyright, there is, so still here. Yeah, this one. This is the version name. So I am going to take print. Okay. First thing, I will take this. Still it's searching, but I'm taking this one. Okay. Paste. Another thing, I'm going to take this like that. Okay, and paste it here, and space. With this, I'm going to print. Okay, and I'm going to take this part. So go back, paste here also. Save. So let's now search about this Apache of Biz released 17.12.1. So let's see. Here I'm gonna say search exploit Apache of Biz enter. Let's see 17.12.3, and there is a cross-site request forgery account takeover vulnerability is there. 17.12.3, right? Yeah, no, 17.12.1, this one, not 3. So okay, this is interesting. I'm going to take this in my mark. So copy, paste here, and I'm going to search this here also. So Apache of Biz 17.12.01 exploits. Okay, change it to English. Remote code execution. Yeah, this looks interesting. Go to that. Of Biz 7.12.1. Let's open this one also. And this vulnerability you can read here. 1 dB. Okay, good sources. And this CVE, I think CVE 20.9496. So let's see. Apache of this version, this exploit that achieves remote command execution via unsafe deserialization of XML RPC argument. So there is unsafe deserialization vulnerability, and this vulnerability we can exploit with the YSO serialize. YSO serialize. Yeah, with that we can, because Java deserialization vulnerability most of the time I go with the YSO serial. So let's see what it said. There is nothing. Okay, the CVE is 2020-9496, so copy and let's see this one. Okay, GitHub, let's see this. Because the two XML RPC related request in web tools, and I think we got web tools, right? Yeah, web tools. So if we go inside the web tool, we will find that XML. So because the two XML RPC related request in web tool, this and ping are not using authentication, they are vulnerable to unsafe deserialization. Okay, so web tools control XML RPC. This is uh, uh, the location for that Java serialization. So a remote unauthenticated attacker can exploit this vulnerability by sending a crafted request. Successfully, exploitation would result in arbitrary code execution. Fine, fine, fine. So let's see what he used. So first he created a shell.sh file, and in that file, this is the bash file, and in that file he put the payload for the reverse shell. Second file he created, not second file, and this file he is gonna publish this file with the Python HTTP server. Third thing, YSO serial. Yeah, he is also using the same thing. So download YSO serial jar. So this is the link from where you can download and you can use it. So jetpack and source. Okay. Third, now he is generating the first payload java space hyphen jar you serialize master dot jar, and he is using common bean utils and wget, and he is calling the shell.sh file which we created in step 1 with the wget, so and convert it into the base 64. Fine. uh, then on the Kali machine you can do this. Okay. uh, so this will be your output payload which you can uh, send it later. So in the sixth step he is going to curl command using the curl command uh, and sending this payload, as you can see, sending this payload with the post request. Okay, and this command, and you can do one more thing. You can also create one more bash file where you can put these two, or you can do these three commands. This one, generate the payload and call this with curl with the post request, and this all these commands you can put in one bash file. Okay, and then call it from the web server. So once that web server download that file, it will run that file, and on the other hand you can on the other window you can listen on that port for what you use in shell.sh. uh, See the shell.sh, so you can use this and you will get the, so it will download one by one these files and you will get the root access. So this is the whole process. Fine. And here there is one more bash script. In that, the person who write this script, I want to thank for him. So he already put all the steps here as I mentioned. So as you can see, he created two variables, URL and port, and then these are the arguments which we will use, and function is web request, and inside the web request this one is the, you can see this is the payload to get the reverse shell, and saving this file as sh shell.sh. Then within the you do not need to manually install that YSO serial. Here from here he is downloading that file on your system, and then creating the payload in your system. This is another curl command, and sending that with the post request, post method. Okay, fine. Then this is another command, YSO serial command, where it uses the common bin utils, and running that shell.sh and convert it into the base 64, then tr space -d, and then sleep for some time. Okay, and again this is the final call. So this is the final payload it's sending, and after everything the best thing is this line is gonna home clean, so nothing will be there in the temp file whatever the payload is created. Okay, so you just need everything is there, you just need to follow these 3 steps. Number 1, host the Python HTTP server on port number 80, or if you can use another port, no problem. Start the netcat listener on port number 8001. So let's see, I am going to copy this file. So download and Control A, copy, open a new file and paste it here. Save it as ofbiz.sh. Okay, and let's see. So we need to use space -i for the attacker IP, and our port we will use port 8001, so that on the netcat we will also use port 8001. Okay, and other thing what we can do is, there is nothing to change, it's already ready. So let's do this. Come here. Okay, I think it's done. Okay, so clear this and clear this, and also I don't want now this connection, so I'm gonna exit from here, clear this too, so we have a space to work. Okay, so I'm gonna say chmod plus x and ofbiz.sh, then ofbiz.sh space -i for my machine. Okay, so the first step actually was to run the Python server. So Python 3 space -m http.server on port number 80. Yeah, next thing we need to put that command, or you can take actually nc space -nlvp port number according to 8001, listening that port. Now final call is this. So I, and my IP is 10.10.14.52. I think, let me check. Ifconfig turn 0. Yeah, 52. Then the port number we will define with space -p, I think. 8001. That's it. Let's run this. So first it creates the shell file. In that it defines the payload for the reverse shell, then downloading the ysoserial.jar file. Okay, so it is actually downloading this one wget from here. It's downloading. Then it will generate a jar payload with this command in the base 64 and save that output. So we will get a hit here. It will take time because yeah. So generating jar payload and we are going to hit yes. So now it, and we get the root access here, ID and who am I and host name, and this is the Docker container because of this, right? So I am going to take let's see, do it like that or make it here, print screen. Okay, not from here, cancel. Okay, okay, fine. Copy here, cherry tree, paste it here, save it. Okay, so we got root access but in the Docker container. Now we need to escape from this Docker container, and this is gonna be very necessary to get root on the system, right? So let's see what we can do. There are some there is one good source from where you can, a lot of resources are there, but personally I always go to that site and check things, that is Hacktricks. You can also follow this good book. So next thing is I am going to search, come on, Docker container escape. Okay, so privilege flag, mounted Docker API firewall bypass, compromising Linux privilege escalation, Docker group. I'm going to make privilege escalation by escaping this Docker container, and in this Docker container I am going to check something AUX. By the way, I just want to give you a brief introduction about Docker container. What is Docker container? It is a virtualized container, okay, in which you can install apps and you can install uh, OS also, but it is virtualized, but not same like the VMware or Microsoft virtualization, because in that virtualization like VMware you need to install a virtual machine, and in that virtual machine you must put a operating system. After that you can install any application, right? But Docker containers are different. So in Docker container you do not need to put any operating system in that container. Okay, you can just install the Docker container, download app from the Docker hub, and pull that image and make execute that image, and it will without any operating system in that Docker container it will run. So it does not need OS platform to run an application, right? This is the main and huge difference. So we will cover that topic in later videos. So without wasting time, root user, okay, this is the first process. Another process is this, and bash temp shell.sh. This is actually the file which with which we got the reverse shell. So there is not much interesting. Let's go to the Docker container, kernel exploit, dirty cow, no, not this one. uh, Docker container is key. Let's see. I also want to show you one thing about Docker. You anytime. So if I say ifconfig, this is my local machine, right? So you can see Docker container, Docker is installed on my machine, and I also get the IP 127.172.17.0.1. So this is the default range. So this whenever I put any image and whenever I create container, so this will automatically assign an IP to that container with the same range like 172.17.0.2, and the third container maybe second container maybe get .3, .4, .5, .6, and all those container will use this IP as gateway. So if I show you Docker images, is there any? Yes. So I have these all the Docker images. Fine. So I'm not going in deep here, just this. Okay. So where I was, yeah, Hackthebox. Come on, Hackthebox. Yeah, this is the Hackthebox. A lot of things. A lot of things are here about the Docker containers. You can read how to run exploits on these. So okay, Docker breakout. So what is a container? You can read it from here. Mounted Docker sockets, you can read it from here. So first of all, uh, same like what you search about the SUID bit set files, like that you can search the socket. Okay, so this I'm not gonna run here. Okay, these all for the enumeration. So you can see the container capabilities, uh, same like in the cap machine we discussed about these capabilities. So sometimes what happened, instead for running an application or for running a service, you need, or that service needs some amount of privileges for the from the super user, right, or as super user privileges to some extent. So without, instead of giving them the whole privilege access, what we do, this capabilities actually make those privileges in little pieces, and you can assign these capabilities to that service to run, right? So in that way, you can avoid to provide all the privileges or wrong privileges to the service, which that service do not require to run, but uh, you give that privilege to that service, and at that instant there are a lot of chances to get hacked or to increase the vulnerability. So this container capabilities are good. So, but still these capabilities also vulnerable. If you do not have particular knowledge about this topic, and you give capabilities, suppose uh, you do not need to give the capability like caps is admin, but you give it to a service. So a hacker can exploit that. Fine, without wasting time, just copy this command and paste it here. Let's run this. And as you can see, okay, current capabilities are there. These are the current capabilities, and bounding sets is this. So we need to see this. So cap change own capability is there. Okay, kill GID, cap set GID, cap set SUID. Uh, okay, cap sys module. Come on. Yeah, so cap sys module. This is the vulnerable here. This is vulnerable here. So take this, and I am going to just take this value, copy, and in the cherry tree, paste this. See, okay, and now let's see how we can exploit that. So which can be exploitable, you can see from here. Control F, I'm going to write it cap space cap underscore sys underscore module. So uh, we can check here. So docker escape by exploiting capabilities. Okay, so this is the hack tricks. This is the CVE which we already had, and let's see this by Wikili, but I just need the capabilities, not anything else. Okay. Not here. These are other process to escape the Docker container. Another thing, what you can do. Okay, Docker escape capabilities. If you go up, Docker escape tool and capability based breakout with capsys admin and capsys module, etc. So we can use this, and another we can use this. We can follow this, right? So we did this, and same like that. Writes up. So we can create a C file same explanation, right? So okay, same like this is the actual thing I'm looking for. Yeah, yes, so I'm going to use this, and I'm going to pause the video to just create this file and come back, or this file is already there, you can use this also. Okay, so let's say just copy this source code, so copy, and I'm going to create one file, new, paste that. Okay, and here I need to change the IP address and 444. So yeah, just save this, and when you save this you need to take care about the name. So its name should be uh, reverse-shell.c. So copy this, paste it here, save it, and this is C. Just what it's doing, uh, breaking out the kernel. So this is the payload, so running on 4444, and this is the path. Okay, fine. So we already saved this. Next, what we need to do is create one more file, and that file, there is explanation, you can read how that script works. Okay, so next is we are going to create one more file, that is Vero. So copy all of this, paste it here. I'm gonna say it's make file. Okay, so make file, save it. Another thing I'm going to do is just compile this or run this with GCC, and that I'm going to make it from here. So first of all, I'm going to create a new folder, that is docker escape, and I'm going to put this file, and where is make file, yeah, control X and paste it here. Yes, and here now we actually do not need this, so clear and clear. Okay, and we are going to run this cd docker escape, put the make command, and it give us error. Why? Because it's actually not seeing the path, right? So we need to give the path for the GCC library, and one more thing, we need to, here is it. Okay, we need to create all these files here actually, sorry. So okay, we will do it here with the nano. Okay, so cd/root. Okay, so nano and reverse-shell.c. Okay, and let's see, copy all of this, copy nano command not found. So what else we can do? Wget is working here. Wget is working or not? Let me see. Space -h. Yeah, wget is here. So this is now good for us. So we created these files here, and I'm gonna start python 3 space -m http dot server, and on port number 8888. So wget space http :/ and 10.10.14.52 slash reverse hyphen shell dot c. Okay, another wget space http // 10.10.14.52 slash, the next was make file. Yes. Okay, now we need to use make command here. And good, it works. Next thing what we need to do is same like this result we got here. So it will actually create the kernel module which will run here. The next thing is we need to put a listener. So I am going to start a listener on my local machine, or we can do it on Marcus. So nc space -nlvp, because we are running on that machine, and the port number we choose 4444, right, in the reverse -shell dot c file. Okay, next what we need to do is he's using another tab for the, but I can use it on the Marcus because we have this. Fine. And the last step is to execute this command. Copy, paste here, enter, come here, and as you can see, we are root, and root of the monitor machine. So ID, who am I, and host name. So done. We are root finally, and I want to just give you a brief what this actually process doing and how we are escaping the container. So this code is basically, it calls the user mode helper function. Okay, so this one, this function, and is used to create user mode process from kernel space, right? Another thing is also this function use three parameters: argument, n, and the umh wait exec. So I'm not sure about umh wait exec, but this is the argument and this is the environment parameter. The arguments to the program are stored in the argument, yes, and the environment, yeah, this one, and this one causes the kernel module to wait until the loader executes the process. So it will wait until this module will run, or the process is run, right? So and it will save, we will save this file as C. Next thing what we do is create a make file to compile that kernel module, which module generated from here, from the first file. So this make file will compile that, and we will make the kernel module by make command. If you know the GCC, or if you know the C language, you will know better this one. And then we start a netcat listening on this port. You can change this port, no problem. And at the last, this ins mode reverse shell.co. because the process, it is calling this process. So copy and paste the lab URL. This session is also inside the same container. Now insert the container module using ins mode. So we insert, because this, the when we make this file, so it is going to create, compile this, okay, compile that file, create a process, and create a kernel module, that is reverse shell.co. Okay, and once we pass this, so it will uh, call the payload, and we will come out of the Docker container. So thank you very much for watching this video. See you in the next video. If you like this content, please like, subscribe, and share as much as possible. So see you next time. Bye.